designations are an important yet often overlooked component of a well-coordinated financial and estate plan. So first, let's talk about a few reasons why it's so important to name a beneficiary designation. First of all, if you don't name a beneficiary designation, you don't control where the asset goes at the end of your lifetime. That means either the state, the federal government, the court, or an insurance company could decide where your asset goes at the end of your lifetime based upon the rules of the contract. Secondarily, if you don't name a beneficiary designation, it could force a taxable distribution from the account in a fashion that might not be optimal for whomever is inheriting that asset. This could have a huge tax consequence for your beneficiaries. And third, the asset could go through the both time-consuming and potentially expensive public court process of probate for the judge to ultimately approve the disposition of that asset. So now that we know why it's so important to name a beneficiary designation, let's talk about a 3-step process to review your beneficiaries and confirm they're aligned with your expectations. So step number 1, inventory your assets. The first step is to simply understand what you own and how that asset transfers at the end of your lifetime. Once you get that list of assets, determine which ones pass via beneficiary designation. 2, review. Of those assets that do pass via beneficiary designation, determine if you have the appropriate primary and contingent beneficiaries listed. Now, a contingent beneficiary is really important because if for whatever reason your primary beneficiary is unable to inherit the asset, perhaps they predecease you, the asset will then pass to the contingent. So very important to consider both primary and contingent beneficiaries and make sure that they're named in both the percentage and manner that you deem appropriate based on your overall estate plan. And then third, optimize. Now this is where the advanced planning consideration comes in. Determine who you want to inherit your assets, and remember, these can be individuals as well as organizations. Determine the taxability of that asset, and then consider who should inherit what based on that taxability. So some assets, things like Roth IRA accounts, are great assets for individuals to inherit because of the tax profile of that asset, whereas others, like traditional IRAs or 401k accounts, could be better assets for charities to inherit, considering they are qualified 501c3 organizations.